Welcome to SD Productions and our second series. In this series we will be looking at track days, how to obtain a race license, the typical race weekend, flags, how classes are determined, the bikes, and how championships work. And we'll also have a special episode on road racing. We hope you enjoy the show. So what's the difference between a super stock bike and a superbike? Well, about 90 to 100,000 pounds. Now, a super stock bike is as close to a showroom bike as you are going to get. You can't change much in the super stock class because you want to keep the bikes as close to showroom spec as possible, so basically it's a battle between every manufacturer. And with a super bike they can change pretty much everything they want. They can't strap a turbo to the bike or anything like that, but they can gain a little bit more power out of the engine, have better forks, have better suspension, brakes, everything. They can upgrade a lot more on the super bikes. So now the power of a super stock bike is actually quite incredible nowadays. Some are pushing out just over 200 brake horsepower at the rear wheel, which for the road is absolutely mind-blowing. And a super bike, you're probably looking at about the 225, 230 bracket at the rear wheel, which is just unbelievable. I mean, I'd struggle to hold on to that with my chicken arms. Now, a super sport bike is pretty much a super bike, but in 600cc form. A super stock 600 is usually pushing out around 120, 125 brake horsepower, whereas a super sport now you're looking at around 140, 150 brake horsepower at the rear wheel, which is again crazy sort of horsepower. Because if you look back about 20, 25 years ago, that was around the power of a super bike. So it's just mind-blowing how quick technology's come on nowadays. Now, as we mentioned in the last episode, guys, at British Championship level there is a British Sidecar Championship. Now, I'm sure when I say sidecar you'll think of the famous Wallace and Gromit. Unfortunately we don't race those kind of sidecars, but something very similar. So most of the outfits are 600cc, and at World Championship level and British level they are 600cc. Now the ones we have here in Britain are the F2 chassis, which are a little bit shorter, but at World Championship level they are the F1 chassis. Now they're a bit longer, and an advantage of having the longer chassis is you can carry that little bit more speed through the corners. Most F1 chassis nowadays are 600cc, but you will see the odd 1000cc sidecar chassis and outfit at club level. Now finally we'll just touch on the Junior British Super Sport class. Now, this is aimed at bringing young talent through the ranks on production-based machinery. Now, the class is made up of mainly Kawasaki Ninja 400s. Kawasaki have built an absolute awesome little bike there, but the class is also open to Yamaha R3s, Honda CBR 500s, and KTM RC390s. It can provide some fantastic racing, and yeah, if you haven't seen any racing, please check it out on YouTube. There's some cracking racing on there.